crime are you accusing the four major food companies of?
Price gouging, sir.
Okay. You think they're price fixing?
In some cases, absolutely.
Okay. Name the four companies that you are accusing of price fixing.
In the grocery sector or more broadly?
The four you've been talking about.
I mean, so I think...
Name me every company that you think is price fixing in violation of the antitrust laws.
Yeah, I mean, so the most recent example that I think is worth considering...
Before we get started, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications because we bring you the biggest moments from Washington without the mainstream media spin. If you watch this hearing, you probably noticed something the headlines won't tell you. Senator John Kennedy didn't just ask tough questions, he demanded evidence. In a political climate where corporations are constantly accused of wrongdoing without proof, Kennedy forced one witness to answer the one question that should always come first. Where's the evidence? And what happened next speaks volumes. Let's get into it.
It's easy to coordinate price hikes when you're large and there are fewer companies.
I think it's been well established that if we discovered life on Mars tomorrow, Joe Biden would send it money. To what extent has his deficit spending contributed to inflation? And do you know of any of these companies? Would you care to accuse someone of a crime here today? And if anybody else would, just let me know. If somebody is price fixing, I want to know. I'll report them myself. And I'm going to want to see your evidence. Otherwise, you subject yourself to defamation.
Senator John Kennedy delivered another unforgettable performance during a heated congressional hearing, pressing a witness over claims that major food companies were engaged in price fixing. Instead of accepting broad accusations, Kennedy demanded names, evidence, and direct answers. In this video, we break down the hearing, examine the debate over inflation, government spending, and corporate responsibility, and explain why this exchange has sparked so much discussion. If you enjoy in-depth coverage of congressional hearings, conservative political analysis, and the latest news from Washington, be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video.
Farm. So, thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you, Senator.
Dr. Owens, you talked about in order to commit a crime, you have to have means, motive, and opportunity. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And you have suggested that it's not an optimal situation to have, well, strike that. Let me just get after it here. What crime are you accusing the four major food companies of?
Price gouging, sir.
Okay. You think they're price fixing?
In some cases, absolutely.
Okay. Name the four companies that you are accusing of price fixing.
In the grocery sector or more broadly?
The four you've been talking about.
I mean, so I think...
Name me every company that you think is price fixing in violation of the antitrust laws.
Yeah, I mean, so the most recent example that I think is worth considering is Agrostat.
Yes, ma'am, but if you don't mind, we'll come back and do the examples. Name me the companies that you're accusing of price fixing.
Well, the first one is Agrostat, which the Department of Justice has sued for price fixing.
Who else?
In the grocery sector, we've got we've got Walmart, we've got Kroger.
Walmart is price fixing.
No, I haven't accused them of price fixing. What I've said is that they're able to expand their markup.
Let me start over here. I want you price fixing is a serious crime, Doc. You can go to jail for that. And I want to be sure I understand your testimony. Who are you accusing of price fixing?
Yeah, look, what my testimony clearly states
is that... Tell me which companies you're accusing of price fixing. You said some were price fixing, and I want to know which ones.
Yeah, I mean, look...
I may report them myself.
The company that's absolutely under investigation by the DOJ
Which ones are price fixing?
I think the Federal Trade Commission and the Department of Justice should take a close look at the four major grocers. They should take a close look at the four major meat packers.
There are currently there's pending litigation. Which companies are price fixing?
Tyson is a great example. Tyson, the large meat packer.
Okay, who else?
The big four meat packers are all currently
That's one. Who else?
Like I said, I think looking at the four major grocers makes sense in this setting.
Which four are price fixing?
Walmart, Albertsons,
Walmart's price
Kroger.
Wait,
I didn't say they were. I said taking a look.
You just said they were. You can't come here and say and imply they're price fixing and then say they're price fixing. That's a serious allegation. You can be sued for defamation.
I said we should take a close look
Now,
at the
let me
companies
go
who
back.
are-
I want to be sure I understand your testimony. Are you telling me right here today that you're accusing Walmart of price fixing?
I'm not personally accusing Walmart of price fixing. I am suggesting
Who are
that
you accusing of price fixing? That's a serious charge.
neither my written testimony nor my oral testimony makes explicit legal claims.
So you're not accusing anybody of price fixing.
No, I have pointed out that the Department of Justice is currently looking
Who
at
are
price
you
fixing
accusing
by
of price
AgriStats.
fixing? Why won't you answer my question? Who are you accusing of price fixing?
I'm pretty sure I have answered your question.
No, you
Senator.
haven't. Just tell me the names of the companies, one by one. What's the first company that you're accusing of price fixing?
I've mentioned AgriStats is currently
Agra
investigating-
what?
AgriStats.
All right, who's number two?
I said Tyson's is currently under
Tyson's
investigation for
is price fixing.
Yeah.
Who's number three?
I've also said that I think the Department of Justice and the FTC should take a close look at
Who's
the
number three?
major grocery
Who's number
retailers.
three? Is Walmart price fixing?
I think that they should take a look at the
Is
extent to
Walmart
which-
price fixing?
They should take a look at it.
Is Walmart price fixing?
I can't currently answer that question. I said that the
You
Department
won't
of
answer that
Justice-
question.
No, I
How
said
about
that
Albertsons? Is Albertsons price fixing?
the Department of Justice and the Federal Trade Commission
Is Albertsons price fixing?
should take a close look at that.
Is Albertsons price fixing?
Again, I think the Department of Justice should take a close look.
You don't want to say.
No,
Now.
I mean, look, I'm not at the FTC. I'm not at the DOJ.
Yes, ma'am, but you've
it's not
accused
my job
these
to
companies of breaking the law, and I think that you ought to have the courage to say in front of God and country what you believe. Now, you either do or you don't.
Look, I believe that when companies get larger and larger,
I understand
and
what
larger,
you believe,
it
but I
becomes
understand
easier and
you're waffling.
easier,
You're
and easier
waffling
to
like a
coordinate.
bank catfish, okay?
It's easy to coordinate price hikes
Dr.
when you're
Antoni,
large and there are
Dr.
fewer
Antoni,
companies.
I think it's been well established that if we discovered life on Mars tomorrow, Joe Biden would send it money. To what extent has his deficit spending contributed to inflation? And do you know of any of these companies? Would you care to accuse someone of a crime here today? And if anybody else would, just let me know. If somebody is price fixing, I want to know. I'll report them myself. And I'm going to want to see your evidence. Otherwise, you subject yourself to defamation. But let me go back to my original question. What was it, Mars? Was it Mars or Jupiter? I forgot. Is the amount of money that President Biden has insisted on spending contributed to inflation? Duh. What's your answer to that?
Well, Senator, regarding the price fixing, I have no evidence because there is no evidence of that, so I can't provide that to you. But to answer the hypothetical on Mars, absolutely that would add to inflation. And yes, the deficit spending under this president, but really under any president, it doesn't matter that it's Joe Biden in particular in the White House doing it. Any person who did, if any person did what he did, it would have the exact same effect, which is this massive run up in prices. Because again, it's not that things are more valuable, it's that the dollar is worth less. So it takes more dollars to buy exactly what you used to. And if you look at, again, the Biden administration's own data, these aren't my figures, these are figures from the Biden administration. They show that prices paid by businesses and prices paid by consumers have gone up almost exactly the same, about 19% during his tenure. And so this idea that somehow the prices that consumers, that you, that all of the people that you represent are paying are somehow the cause of anything other than costs simply being passed on to them, the data simply don't support that.
Okay.
Senator John Kennedy has built a reputation for cutting through political talking points with plain English, and this hearing was another perfect example of why so many Americans appreciate his style. The hearing began with Kennedy briefly speaking to farmer Mr. Maxwell, thanking him for continuing the tradition of American farming. It was a reminder that the backbone of this country isn't found in Washington offices, but in the farms, factories, and businesses that keep America running. But the real fireworks started when economist Dr. Owens suggested that major food companies deserve scrutiny over possible price fixing. Now let's be clear. Price fixing is one of the most serious accusations you can make against a business. It's a federal antitrust violation. Companies found guilty can face enormous penalties, and individuals involved can even face prison time. That's exactly why Kennedy refused to let vague accusations slide. Instead of allowing broad statements to remain unanswered, Kennedy repeatedly asked a simple question. Which companies are actually guilty? It sounds like an easy question, doesn't it? If you're claiming corporations manipulated prices illegally, surely you should know exactly who you're talking about. Instead, the witness hesitated. He mentioned AgriStats because it's involved in an ongoing Department of Justice case. He mentioned Tyson being investigated. But when Kennedy asked directly whether Walmart was price fixing, the answer suddenly became much less certain. When Albertsons came up, the same thing happened. Again and again, Kennedy asked for a direct answer. Again and again, the witness shifted back to saying regulators should take a closer look. That distinction matters. There's a huge difference between saying authorities should investigate something and publicly claiming someone committed a crime. Kennedy wasn't letting that difference disappear. As conservatives, this is exactly how hearings are supposed to work. Government shouldn't operate on assumptions. Accusations require proof. Evidence matters. Facts matter. If someone is breaking the law, then investigate them. If evidence exists, prosecute them. But if there isn't enough evidence, then politicians and experts shouldn't casually imply criminal behavior against companies employing thousands of Americans. One of Kennedy's strongest moments came when he warned that falsely accusing companies of crimes could expose someone to defamation claims. That wasn't political theater. That was a reminder that words have consequences. Too often today, public figures throw around terms like corruption, collusion, greed, or price fixing without ever producing the evidence necessary to support those accusations. Kennedy brought the conversation back to basic fairness. If you're going to accuse someone, be prepared to back it up. Otherwise, maybe don't make the accusation in the first place. Eventually, Kennedy shifted the discussion toward inflation. And this may have been the most important part of the hearing. For years, Americans have watched grocery bills climb. Gas prices surged. Housing became more expensive. Everything seemed to cost more. The question is why? One witness argued there was no evidence that widespread corporate price fixing caused inflation. Instead, he pointed to